The storm had been merciless, battering the vessel until it splintered and surrendered to the fury of the sea. When Olivia awoke, she found herself sprawled upon a desolate beach, the taste of salt lingering in the air. The once majestic ship now lay in ruins, its skeletal remains a haunting reminder of the chaos that had ensued. Olivia's memory was a haze, shattered like the wreckage around her. The island stretched before her, a labyrinth of tangled vegetation and looming shadows. She had been a survivor of the shipwreck, but now she was alone on an isolated isle with no signs of life. As daylight gave way to twilight, Olivia's survival instincts kicked in. She scavenged for sustenance, finding fruits and roots that would keep her alive. But the eerie silence of the island sent shivers down her spine. It was as if the island itself held its breath, watching her every move. Days turned into weeks, and Olivia's isolation grew oppressive. The island seemed to play tricks on her senses, whispers in the wind that vanished when she strained to hear, fleeting glimpses of movement in the undergrowth that dissolved upon inspection. Sleep became a precious escape, a temporary reprieve from the island's silent scrutiny. One night, as Olivia huddled in her makeshift shelter, a rustling outside startled her. Heart racing, she peered into the darkness, straining to see. A figure emerged, a silhouette, its features obscured by shadows. Fear gripped Olivia as the figure drew closer, its movements erratic and unnatural.
"Who's there?"
Olivia's voice trembled as she called out, her words swallowed by the oppressive stillness. The figure continued its approach, its presence evoking a sense of dread. With a final surge of courage, Olivia raised a makeshift weapon and took a step forward. The figure stopped abruptly, and for a moment time seemed to hang suspended. Then, with a sudden burst of speed, it lunged at Olivia, its eyes gleaming with an unnatural light. Olivia's weapon found its mark, striking the figure and knocking it to the ground. The moon's pale light revealed a shocking truth. The figure was no more than a tangle of vines and leaves, woven together into a grotesque imitation of life. Confusion and terror swirled within Olivia as she realized the island itself was toying with her, distorting reality and conjuring her deepest fears. Days turned to weeks once again, but Olivia's sanity began to fray. Whispers echoed in her mind, taunting and tantalizing. Shadows danced at the corners of her vision, and her own reflection in the water seemed to sneer at her. Every step she took felt like an echo in a world that was indifferent to her existence. One fateful night, as Olivia lay sleepless in her shelter, the ground beneath her trembled. An unnatural groan filled the air, a haunting chorus that seemed to emanate from the very earth itself. The island was alive, a sentient entity that reveled in her torment. Terror ignited a desperate need for escape. Olivia fled through the undergrowth, the island's malevolent presence hot on her heels. The trees seemed to close in around her, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. Shadows twisted and writhed, forming grotesque shapes that blocked her path. Gasping for air, Olivia stumbled upon a clearing bathed in moonlight. At its center stood an ancient stone altar covered in vines and moss. The island's whispers crescendoed, a maddening symphony that drowned out reason. In her desperation, Olivia fell to her knees before the altar, her voice joining the chorus of whispers. In that moment of surrender, Olivia understood. The island fed on her fear, her despair, her very essence. She had become its plaything, trapped in a never-ending cycle of torment. But as she gazed into the altar's enigmatic depths, a spark of defiance ignited within her. With a surge of willpower, Olivia screamed, her voice a defiant challenge to the island's power. The whispers wavered, faltered, and for a fleeting instant the island's grip loosened. Olivia seized the opportunity, her strength renewed by a flicker of hope. Barefoot and wild-eyed, Olivia ran, her feet pounding against the earth. She sprinted through the forest, determined to break free from the island's clutches. Shadows recoiled from her, and the whispers faded to a mere echo. The island fought back, its malevolence raging against her will, but Olivia's resolve burned brighter. And then, after what felt like an eternity, she burst through the trees and onto the beach. The moon cast its silvery glow on the waves, and the scent of salt was a welcome reminder of the world beyond the island's grasp. With a final surge of energy, Olivia sprinted into the sea, the water's cool embrace a balm to her weary body and shattered mind. As the waves carried her away from the Forsaken Isle, she cast a defiant gaze back at the shadows that had once imprisoned her. The island receded into the distance, a fading nightmare that would haunt Olivia's memories forever. But as the dawn broke over the horizon, its warm light chased away the lingering shadows, and Olivia knew that she was no longer the island's victim. She was a survivor, scarred by the horrors she had endured, but unbroken by the malevolent forces that had sought to claim her soul. The whispers of the Forsaken Isle would forever echo in her memory, a reminder of the darkness that exists in even the most remote corners of the world.